All right, so now we're able to save the calorie limit and the total calories in local storage. But we have an issue here because the calories consumed, burned, these aren't showing. Also, the meals and workouts, those aren't showing after a page refresh because the meals and workouts are not in local storage. So what I'm going to do is first off just delete the total calories because that's going to kind of throw us off if we have this and then we add the functionality. We can keep the limit in there, that's fine. And then let's jump over to our storage class. And we're going to add, let's see, we'll go to the end of the storage class. And first off, I'm going to have a static method to get meals. So basically get them from local storage. And it's going to be similar to what we did here. So I could probably just grab this and paste that in and just change all of these to meals. Now here we're going to check to see if it's not in local storage, if it's null. If so, then this meals variable is just going to hold an empty array. Okay, else, if it is in local storage, then we want to get it. We don't want to parse it to a number, so get rid of that. But we do want to parse it to an array, because remember, it's going to be stored as a stringified array. So we want to run this through json.parse. And then we want to just return the meals. Okay, so that will get the meals. Now, I'm going to create another method to save them to local storage. So let's say static, and we'll call this save meals. And first thing I'm going to do here is set a variable and use the method we just created to get the meals from local storage. So we'll say storage.getMeals. Then we want to take that array of meals and we want to push onto it the new meal. Actually, I'm sorry, this should be singular. Just save meal and it should take in a meal. And then we're going to push that meal item onto the array and then we're going to put it back in local storage. So then we can say local storage dot set item, and we want to set meals. And remember, we have to stringify it first. So json.stringify, and then the we want to pass in the meals array. All right, so now we can get meals and save meals. So we want to call this method, this save meal, up here in the tracker class in the add meal method. So right here, because here we're adding to the UI with this method. We're also saving the calories of the meal, but we're not actually adding the meal to local storage, so we want to make sure we do that. So let's go right under where we saved the update, where we save the total calories, and let's say storage dot save meal, and then pass in our meal. All right, now I also want to, up here where we're getting the meals to begin with in the constructor, we're setting it to an empty array, and I don't want to do that. I want to get the meals from local storage. So let's replace this with storage dot get meals. So now let's come over here and add a new meal. Okay, so it gets added, everything looks good. Now let's reload, and you can see the meal doesn't stick yet down here, but we do see the calories consumed because the calculation to get the calories consumed uses this right here. All right, if I have this set to an empty array, then that's not going to get calculated. Now to display the actual item, what we're going to do is, let's see, we're going to have a method, a public method, because we're going to call this from app. So let's put this at the end of the public method. So under set limit, let's say load items. So this will be to load both meals and workouts, but for right now, we're just going to do meals. So we'll say this dot and then underscore meals, and we're going to for each, so we're going to loop through, and we'll say for each meal, then we want to call the display, so this dot underscore display new meal. And that's going to take in, of course, the meal that in the current iteration. And then this load items, where we're going to call this, is down in the app class in the constructor. So right here, let's do it under the event listeners. I think we should put these event listeners in their own method just to clean up the constructor. I'll do that in a second, but let's just say this dot underscore tracker dot load items. Okay, so now if I come back here, now you can see that the meals that are in the array and local storage are now going to display. Okay, so they'll stick. So if I add another one, let's add dinner, say 700, and add that, and then if I reload, that sticks. Okay, workouts are not going to just yet because we need to kind of do the same thing we just did for workouts. We'll do that in the next video, but let's put these event listeners in their own method because this is a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these, and then what we'll do is we'll have a method, let's say this dot, and we'll say load event listeners. Okay, and then we'll put that, we'll just put it right under the constructor. And actually that's going to be private. Obviously we're not going to call that from anywhere else. So let's say load event listeners, and we're simply going to paste that in. Okay, so everything should still work the same. If we add another meal, I don't know, we'll say snack 140. That still works. Good. All right, so yeah, in the next video, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of, actually, what I would like you guys to do is do this on your own, because we're doing the same thing we just did, where you're going to create a get workouts in your storage class. It's going to be a static method, a save workouts, and then in the display, the load items method, you're also going to load workouts in addition to meals. So try and do that on your own. You should be able to. Basically just copying what we already did.